I'm very good. I am just amazed about what we got to watch this weekend from start to finish. But yeah, I'm excited to be here again, filling in for you, which is always fun.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Lovely. Hopefully, everybody else will be able to hear me.
Oh, I'm
I'm
not sure
currently
if anyone
standing.
actually heard me. I'm not sure if anyone
Oh,
actually heard me. Okay, there
are
we go.
you? Are you? Are
Well,
you? Are
I
you going
forgot
to
to
unmute
unmute
yourself?
me. Forgot to unmute me.
Uh,
Oh, brilliant! All that
Sorry,
big
I'm the
Terrible
intro,
intro.
mistake.
all that big
Terrible
intro, and
mistake.
I've ruined
Terrible from
it.
you. I put you
Um,
in charge for 1 minute, and you
I
don't
left
even
that
unmute
on. I
yourself.
left that on, and it's changed it when I've gone back to it. So that's annoying.
It's
Hello,
always,
everyone.
always,
Welcome to the bar.
always,
Um,
always, always
oh,
blame the
it's
technology,
been
eh?
Should we
such
whoosh
a.
again?
It's oh god.
Who
Should
put
we?
you
Should
in
we?
charge?
Should we go back again? Should we go back again?
Quick,
Yeah, let's
quick, quick,
start.
quick.
Start afresh.
Right, right. Do you know
We can
what,
drop the
Jack? Just delay the flight by a little bit. Have a heart attack or something. We'll go back again. Jack, can you talk or not anymore? You've muted
I
yourself, so
can
I'm not
talk. I
sure.
can talk. I
Okay,
can talk.
right. Let's move. Yeah, right. Great job. Love that. I'll voice that over in post. You've had a
I don't even know
really
if you will be
fun.
able to.
Yeah, no, I won't. You've had a really fun weekend, haven't you?
Yep, I'm going to talk quickly because I probably have to board this plane soon. So, obviously, yeah, if you don't know, for people, I lost my bag. My bag, I still don't have it. I got a really annoying email this morning because yesterday we decided to send my bag home. So, like, basically, keep it at Heathrow, deliver it to my home address, and we live to fight another day. Then I wake up this morning to an email saying it's coming today, and I was like, for God's sake, it shouldn't be coming today. He should be going to my house. So I go to the airport on the flight. It's landed. The baggage is coming. Does the bag come? No. Has the bag come on the next flight? No. So I'm hoping it was kind of a rogue email and it wasn't really meant for me, and my bag will still get delivered to my address. When I do. But yeah, it's been crazy. Even right now, I was quite surprised. Jeff Dodds and Zane Maloney were on the flight just prior to us, so I had a small little just hello with them. But yeah, well, crazy weekend we had, boys. I I think the big thing, and I think the big thing that you're going to talk about, and I'm really interested to listen, because I'm going to listen to the show on the plane before we take off, because we're not due to take off till 9:30, so I'm not going to be on so I should be able to listen to a bit of it. But the penalties, wow!
Yeah,
Right, the
that's a big talking point.
penalties,
If you want to come on
right?
tonight, we really want to hear your opinions on the penalties because
And
it was a
I
bit of a
want strong
chaos.
opinions. I want strong opinions because, like, I'm gonna, talk to. I think, and some of the drivers. I spoke to a lot of the drivers over the weekend. Taylor Barnard, if you watch our interview video, he was quite strong. He was like, he doesn't think 10-second penalties suits Formula E because 10 seconds can take you from first, for example, Eduardo Mortara, he wasn't first but second, all the way down and out of the points. Although that didn't actually happen for Eduardo Mortara because we ended up getting a little bit of space somehow in that race. But normally we don't get that, so you normally get demoted out of the points, which we saw with Dan Ticktum with his 33-second penalty, and that was a very interesting one. Like, I think a lot of people was like, what has happened there? Because what had happened did not merit the penalty. I don't think. I don't think it was fair that it was converted into a drive-through. I think a 10-second would have been fine. I think some of the drivers were fine with a 10-second. But there's a problem, I think, with that 10-second penalty. It would have still kept him in third place. Therefore, I think that Stewart's basically was like, well, you can't
Would it?
do that and stay on the podium.
I think no.
But
I think it would have left him sixth or something. I don't think it would have kept him
someone said
third.
that, but I think Marty
No.
slowed down. I heard.
But he wasn't
Marty
he
slowed down, but he
consuming- I
was
think
8.5 seconds off at the end. I know that
Yeah.
I
much.
also-
Yeah.
So
I think he
then
was
that
slowing
there was
down as well, though, wasn't he? He was trying to slow down to conserve
yeah, he was
energy. So
trying to
how long
slow-
would he have gone for?
But anyway, like, I think a lot of the drivers were like, that was, everyone I spoke to, James Rossiter, Taylor Barner, like, people I just spoke to and just like, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that one. And it was really interesting to hear their takes and they just didn't think it was a penalty, and they thought the stewards were quite harsh.
Yeah.
Effectively, the Costa Mortara one, I didn't really get to see a second look, but people were saying that it's the first lap and so forth, and maybe 5 seconds would have been a bit more appropriate. And obviously, the Costa had time to and did fantastically, able to get back into a podium position. So he could. So did we need Eduardo Mortara to get a 10-second penalty? Maybe not. Maybe it was only a 5 because it was the first lap. But I have to say, Eduardo Mortara apologized to Antonio Felix da Costa and said sorry. So is that owning up a little bit and saying, "Yep, my bad, really sorry." So did Dan Ticktum. Dan Ticktum did apologize to Antonio Felix da Costa on the Sunday in the media pen. He did go over to him. He did say, "I'm sorry." And he said, "We'll talk a little bit later after the media pen." So, Dan did take some ownership for obviously the collision. That collision itself, I think it's like 6 and 1/2 of whatever, because Dan does make a late move. I think Dan makes a late move, right? But the Costa, I think, is driving into a wedge that's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think the Costa's a little bit annoyed because of what's happened previous. And I don't know how we didn't really see the dives and stuff that has been made by Ticktum in those previous laps, apart from the one where they both go through the chicane. So I don't know if they've decided to, because he was being a bit cheeky, and that's another reason why they added to the penalty. But I don't think that's right, because Da Costa said he wasn't warned. Therefore, if you haven't warned him for those previous events, you can't then penalise him for those because of the penalty that you've given him. You were a bit cheeky as well, so we'll add that on as well, mate. So I'm not quite sure. I don't know what I don't know why the stewards were strict. Compared to the previous races. They were just super, super strict.
Yeah, and we've seen this. So at the start of the year, they were being very lenient. There was obviously the accident in Mexico, which kind of started our steward watch, thing of
God, steward watch is going to be interesting.
Oh my! I was joking, saying that it was going to be a 3-hour video after Saturday. I think it will actually be a 3-hour video after Sunday as well. But
we'll try and keep it as short as possible.
The driver sent that letter to the stewards. I think it was after Miami. I think it was in that gap between Miami, between Jeddah and Madrid, or somewhere around there. Ages ago, they sent that letter, and it feels like they've acknowledged it, and then they've gone kind of too far in the other direction. It's like they've gone from one extreme to the other. They need to find this kind of happy medium. It didn't
happen in Berlin as such, although Berlin we didn't have too many incidents. So, but Monaco we did. So it's just interesting to see now if that continues going into China and Shanghai. But, just to wrap up, because I've probably got to go in a second. Pascal Wehrlein, we spoke to him. Bad set of tyres. It's amazing how we just said it was a bad set of tyres on Sunday. And obviously, he got the puncture. He said he was probably on for a podium, but gets a puncture in that race and loses out. So a bit not his fault. And then the new set of tyres, he said, we got a brand new fresh set of tyres from practice 2 and obviously qualifying. And I go slower now I was using with a race day old tyre that he had from the previous day. So he put it down to a bad set of tyres. It's just incredible when you're trying to fight for a championship and you get a dodgy set of tyres effectively. That's just crazy.
Part warns.
Yeah, it just didn't work. Oliver Rowland, what a weekend for him, and Mitch Evans leading the championship. Where's that come from? It's very topsy-turvy, and as it goes for those things in terms of, you can't predict this championship, and you think Pascal Wehrlein's going to do really, really, really well, and he doesn't. So yeah, it's really interesting. So now we go into the Asian leg, and I think this part of the after the Chinese race in Tokyo, it's London. So we're now into crunch time. It is a key part of the championship. So honestly, that's my last call basically to board the plane. So I'm going to leave you with that. But yeah, boys, enjoy the show. I'm going to be listening, and I will speak to you soon. Have fun.
Thank you very much, Jack.
See you
Safe
later.
travels. You can surely track his flight on Flight Radar if you desperately want to. He's leaving from Nice and heading to London Heathrow. So if you'd want to look that up on Flight Radar, I might check it out a little bit later on in the show and give you an update. Right, Kyle. Let's get to it. What were your thoughts on this weekend? There's a lot of things that we need to get through tonight.
Yeah, I have a prop with me because I had this in my video, but it's a clapperboard that Jeff Dodds would have been using for the absolute production that we got over those two races. And I think no race was the same, was it? I mean, obviously with the pit boost, but like I knew when Nick won, I was like, well, that's not happening tomorrow. So what is going to happen tomorrow? And again, just shock results, like just so many results that the table needed. Obviously Degrassi, it was nice to see the rookies on there. Joel kind of did really well as well, so it just like pumped up some of the lower numbers. And I think Monaco just opened up that table a little bit more to show the talent on the grid, really, because I think some of them do get overshadowed by the top 8. So I think it was a great showcase.
Yeah, definitely. Lucas Degrassi now is now the oldest point scorer in Formula E history now. So that's one to add to the tally. I know that he's only got a handful of occasions to beat that record again before he hangs up his helmet in London. Let's start with Nick de Vries though, because this is a man who has had last season he had a really solid year. He actually beat Edo on points throughout last year. But this year, he's been well and truly trumped by Edo. Edo's had a fantastic year so far. And even when, like back in Madrid, when Nick got to the final of qualifying and was on the front row, he had that altercation on like the third lap, and that meant that he didn't get a good result there. It's been a really bad start to the season for Nick, and so it's kind of nice for him to finally have his and Mahindra's first win in the Gen 3 era.
I'm just hoping that it's gone away. Like he's had just bad luck, I think, is what we can put it down to. Obviously, he's had a DNS. He's had quite a few DNFs, and he's just not had the results. But he has looked quick in the dual stages. He's also looked pretty quick in qualifying. I think he's just had that sort of unlucky stint. And I think the Mahindra is probably the fastest overall package. I know some will say the Jag's pretty quick, and so is the Porsche. But I think the Mahindra has been really balanced across the season. So obviously, looking at Mortara and seeing those results, you think, well, why can't Nick do it? He's a world champion and he's a class driver. So to see him on the top step, like now feels a bit like, oh yes, hopefully that is it now. That's enough to keep him motivated to know that there is a bit of luck on his side. So, but yeah, it was a nice change, wasn't it, for us to talk about Nick in a positive way than just the blunder of the week is, and it's Nick de Vries. So
yeah, definitely. And actually, his teammate Edo, like on that Saturday race, he didn't actually get the chance to qualify, so we couldn't actually get to see.
Do you think they swapped cars?
Maybe because Edo was back up there on the Sunday, and then Nick missed out on the duels on the Sunday, but Jack was on about the penalties there, and I think Mortara is also one of those who suffered quite a lot with the penalty, which, in my eyes, that was a first lap incident. That was everyone gets a little bit bunched up, and those things happened.
I don't know if it's true in Formula E, but phantom braking in EVs is kind of part and parcel. There's no brake lights, is there? So I think sometimes when they're that close on lap one, I think a racing incident, obviously for Dak it's not great, but actually it shook the dice, and he said in an interview, I don't know if it was on your channel or if it was the official broadcast, that the team were in his ears and they said, right, you've got to do this to get back, and obviously it played off really well, and it probably played off better than where he started. We'll never know, but it's definitely one I think, well, it paid off. So I mean, it doesn't really mean anything in terms of the penalty, but for Da Costa it was good to see.
Yeah, and definitely I think like the circuit as well, it suits Formula E down to the ground. We had some absolutely cracking races on both days.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I don't think we're going to see too much change into Gen 4. I think as long as they can still go side by side in sections that is quite unusual, it really is a track for Formula E, isn't it? So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there is a lot to get through tonight in terms of. I mean, yeah, Jack was mentioning the penalties.
Controversies, I think, is what we got to get through, isn't it?
There's a lot of stuff tonight.
Of challenge.
Yeah, honestly, if you got strong opinions, come and bring it, because it is gonna, it's gonna be awesome tonight. Just a little thing before we start. We've had a very kind of hectic part of the show. Not only did I forget to turn my audio on at the start, forget to take Jack's lower third down before the show even started. My chair went kaplunk, so I am currently that's the screw. That's the screw that's left, and so it's very kind of dead now, and you can see the back of the chair in the shot. That is that is the rest of my chair. It's just there. It's going to be there. It's just so it's going to be very relaxing next couple hours, and and if you do want to have your say on what happened this weekend, come and give us your opinions. This show doesn't work without you. We don't care if they are the most over the top opinions possible. And I think the first person that I'm going to get in is an Antonio Felix da Costa fan. So I'm going to say good evening to Ricardo. Ricardo, you are on the FE bar. I wonder what we want to talk about this week.
What do I want to talk this week?
Go on.
I don't know. Dan Tickton?
Okay, sure. Go on.
No, I'm joking. I mean, it's the usual. When he doesn't do rather well, he gets a bit unlucky, to be honest. And although I know there are some people that don't agree with my opinion, I think the penalty was deserved, although the 33 seconds, i.e. the drive-through, wasn't fair, to be honest. It was a bit too much for me, because I expect like a 10-second time penalty or whatever, but 33. I mean, I kind of understand, because if we compare to the Dennis Cassidy incident, Cassidy had some penalty with damage and fault, I think, or whatever. So 10 seconds, although for the incident, if we compare one to another and the penalties applied, for most it can be a bit too much for Dan. But if you look at the actions and the outcomes, I think you can relate those two with the outcomes. So yeah, I think, I don't know about you. I know there are many people that don't agree with my opinion, but I kind of agree. It can be a bit too much for Dan. But if you look at both outcomes of Cassidy and Dan, uh, I think it goes either way, and it can be justified the drive through for Dan, to be honest.
I
I don't know
think
about you.
I think the Cassidy incident was just an accident, though. I think the Dan Da Costa was a defending accident. I think they are a little bit sort of different. But I think I watched a clip where you can hear Antonio's voice for a lot longer than what we got on the TV, and I think you can hear he's complaining about Dan's movement under braking for a fair bit. So I believe there is probably an element of they've gone right. He keeps doing it. Let's give him sort of a black flag, essentially. But I, as a DAC fan as well, it's a heart and mouth moment. But I think it was just a racing incident on a harsh defence. So, but Be interested what Pickering thinks, actually.
So when I first saw I saw the incident on Saturday, and then Saturday evening was so kind of like hectic for me that I didn't actually see it until about 2 hours ago. I've watched it again. I think for me it is a racing incident. I don't think anyone's too much to blame. Dan Ticktum doesn't actually turn his wheel left at any point. He turns it straight, but he doesn't actually turn it left. And for me, that's not. So yes, that gap is closing because of the the trajectory of that of going down that hill. But I think there was room on the left for Da Costa to go, which is why I think it kind of stood. I think a 10-second penalty for Dan would have been fine, but I think that the 33-second converted drive-through was ridiculous. I will say on top of that, especially to the point that the pit boost time was 54 seconds minimum time, and that includes a 34-second stop. I got an A in maths, so believe it or not, I'll be able to do this maths in my head. And 54 minus 34 is 20. So they've magicked 12 seconds out of nowhere for that drive-through penalty.
Do you believe that the stewards were like, we need to give him a penalty? Well, what car number is he? 33.
Yeah, it feels like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know? I just want to
brand new bombshell enter the villa.
The crash actually reminded me of Pepe Marti's one in Brazil. I don't know why, but I just think it was that sort of running out of room incident. Like, it wasn't something that was defended so aggressively. It was obvious. And as we said with the steering wheel, you can see that Dan is just defending, but it looks like Da Costa really ran out of room. And that's why I think, as a neutral in sort of looking at it, I do believe it was a bit harsh for what it was. So.
Yeah, and then again with the penalties applied and the outcomes, that's why I was saying that for me, if you look at the actions, although I saw the onboard today on the official Formula E team radio video, you can see Antonio's onboard, and yes, you could argue that he was still pointing a bit to the left, i.e. to the wall, but Dan just closes in. He's, like Pico said, he's not turning to the left. He's just breaking straight into its trajectory, basically. And in the end, Cassidy got damaged. Yeah, Dennis got damaged as well, but Cassidy got his fair part. Though Dan essentially kept P3 on track, and Antonio just retired. He couldn't go on anymore. So there's some kind of justification to that drive-through. Although for me, yes, it's a bit harsh. And just to get this topic out of the way, because it just went on for the whole Saturday. It felt Sunday's race. What a roller coaster! Yeah, it was a bit mad, and yeah, pack racing can get a bit too chaotic. But to see Antonio get spun on the first lap, and by lap 20 leading with actual shots at the victory, it was actually fantastic. Not gonna lie, and yeah,
that's Formula E though, isn't it?
Today's Formula E, because if you saw that kind of performance in Gen 2, you could have we could argue it would have been the best performance ever by a Formula E driver of all time. So, but yeah, it's today's racing, it's pack racing, and it's actually in Monaco of all places. So.
Even though he DNF'd, I still think he had a great weekend, actually. I think he lost a haul of points to claim them back from Pascal in the championship. But actually, I think as looking at it from Dak's perspective, I still think it was overall a good weekend. He looked challenging in the duels. He had a great race one, if you forget about the DNF, and then race two. he turned an incident into something really positive. So that's sort of how I've seen from Jaguar's perspective and Da Costa's perspective, that actually Monaco was pretty good. It's the story to tell, a bit like Jack's luggage.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ricardo, I mean, like, we've spoken a lot about the Ticton penalty. The Mortara penalty on the Sunday race, obviously that was a lap one incident from it, and Dak had enough time to recover from it. But how did you read that one?
Yeah. So at first, when it was at first glance, I thought it was actually Jeff, because Jeff was just so aggressive on the first lap, and he was trying to overtake Edo on the chicane, and I thought it was Jeff. But when I saw it was Motara, I mean, a bit surprising, to be honest. I think it's just an unfortunate incident, but then again, you spin your opponent from P2 to a loss, or to way down the grid. Oh, yeah. Fortunately, no damage, but I mean, yeah. If you either way, it could be unfortunate or not, but if you are not too careful with the driver ahead, I know it can get a bit complicated, to be honest, but then again, you cause your opponent to go from the front to the back, and I think you have to get some kind of penalty. The 10 seconds, though,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, in the end, it didn't hurt that much, though, because of the gaps. But I think maybe a 5 second penalty would have been a bit better, or a bit more pliable than the 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I think in Mortaro, it was a masterclass. I think to deal with that, and I think they played it off really well to keep him in the points, because especially when it's a non-pit boost race, obviously we are used to the peloton style, which actually Monaco was kind of teasing this it wasn't, which was interesting, and I think that's a point that hopefully someone will bring up later. But I think the penalties without pit stops doesn't work as well as it does in other categories, because there's no way to serve it. And when we do pack race until the end, it just means that you really do drop down. One I want to mention, if anyone noticed, but Dennis got dropped out of the points. I only noticed when I was doing my video this week that the when I took my screenshot, it was different to what I'd got written down. It was really interesting. But that one again was a 5-second penalty. So
Yeah, and there was a lot of penalties as well. Barnard had 2 10-second penalties in the race on Sunday as well. The main thing, the main kind of takeaway, and I'll put this to both of you now as well. Like, is it getting too extreme? Because that's the thing that we kind of want to see tonight. So if you do want to come on, we are going to ask this to all of you. But are the penalties now going in the other direction, where they were being far too lenient back at the start of the season? Are they being too strict about it now?
I mean, it can get a bit aggressive, yeah, but you have to be consistent with it. And I think it's maybe the main issue along the season, that the penalties have not been applied consistently, case by case. And yeah, if you want to go the aggressive way, you have to go for all penalties. And I mean, if you go on that regard, I think this weekend showed how aggressive it can be. So the drivers can be a bit more careful, even when there's pack racing and so much energy management, And it's like some drivers said, at the end of the day, don't blame the players, blame the game.
Yeah.
yeah. I've just had a light bulb moment as you've been talking. Instead of a time penalty, could they do a power penalty? Is that for this live stream, or is that for
drop
something
them
else?
down?
Like,
drop them down to a
I'm
power
just-
mode. Oh, I like that. And then you have to spend
Yeah.
you have to
Or
spend like
time
1
penalty,
minute you have to spend 1 minute at 200 kilowatts of power or something like that.
I just think that makes more sense than time. Like,
Yeah.
It
limit them to
depends.
one wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends, because because let's say you have a huge you are at the front, you have an incident, you get an energy penalty depending on how bad it was, and let's say there's a safety car that actually takes a bit long, so you might have the risk to go what 3 laps short maybe. I don't know, but the last time we had any kind of energy reductions, it went pretty bad.
Yeah,
So I don't
Valencia
know if
season.
I don't know if Formula E would
Which
go
one was
down
it?
that route again.
Season 7, Valencia. Yeah, I remember that one. That was. But yeah, no, I kind of like that idea. Give them like a yeah. But yeah, no.
Jack's gonna hate me for
Chris
that.
is
He's gonna be like, why
yeah.
did you say that?
Chris has put in chat -1 energy, -1%. So that is like the energy deductions. I mean, like whether you just go into like a lower power mode for like 30 seconds, then go back up again or something like that. Then
Well,
like
I
on
think
the on F1 Championship Edition when you cut a corner and it would slow you right down to 5 seconds, like. Or turn the attack modes into the MotoGP long lap penalty loops. So occasionally you have to go through them, but not pick up the.
Actually, that's a good point, though. What you've just said, that make it a penalty line as well as an attack mode.
Yeah.
Because they can make the graphic where it can be like red for the person as they go across. I mean, good luck for the TV production, but I think we're coming up with some good ideas. I think today's episode is literally going to be penalty central, isn't it? And we're going to be coming up with left, right, and centre.
I think there could be one better than that, because if you turn the attack mode loops into penalty zones, let's just say, for example, Monaco, you actually, if you go like at normal speed that they take attack, it's not going to be as big of a penalty. So I think even for tracks like Monaco, we could have like the system that DTM have with the penalty lap. So basically, you have a short zone where you have to go like 60 kph, and yeah, basically all right, you get you get a penalty, like there's one penalty lap that you have to do. So basically, you just go to the zone, turn on the pit limiter or whatever, and just take it. I mean, it could be a bit more like a bit more harsh, a bit more aggressive, as penalties should be. So yeah, because you can do that with the attack mode zone, but you have to put like a speed limit to it.
Yeah. Jack King has just put in. Though. Yeah, Jack King has just put in chat. He's and I saw earlier he met Jack Germainer on a train going to Monaco earlier in the weekend. But he says, I think position penalties might work. If 5 and 10 seconds both drop you from the points, then maybe a 3 or 5 place penalty might be an idea. So if you drop positions,
it's a tough one, isn't it?
It is a. Yeah.
But then you can't get out of the penalty. So let's say they had an instance like we had in Tokyo last year where, I mean, when Stoffel Van Dorn had that massive lead, like he's always going to finish third even if he has a 20-second lead. So I don't know how well that would work. I mean, again, another scenario that was very strange, but I think you're saying to someone, you can't finish first, but you can finish third as long as you finish first. It's just, we don't need a mess like that.
There are some ideas, and Chris has rightly just put in chat, as fun as it sounds, do we really want slow moving cars on track? We've seen how well that works in Formula 1.
And that's what I was going to say. It would be a bit dangerous, I think, if you had a lot of like they would have to literally have flashing lights, or do what they do on Gran Turismo and they turn into a ghost.
I think somehow that's less possible. But yeah, right. Ricardo, thank you for coming back on the FE bar. We hope to hear from you again soon.
Yeah, of course. Pleasure always for me. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers, Ricardo. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
Yes.
Right,
great first interview on it, really.
Brilliant.
Good one to start us off. That's the bar now, guys.
Yeah.
The bar on the bar.
Yeah. Try and go from there. Oh, God. This chair! Jesus Christ, I keep on doing it. Because there's no back. I go a little bit backwards, and I feel like I'm just going to catapult myself up it.
Does this make you jealous?
Yeah. To be fair, I did used to have that chair. But yeah, no, that was the chair that I had before this one. I'm gonna have to get a new one now. But Monsieur Khan is on the bar. I've just had a heart attack, Monsieur. No, so I dragged you in, and then just absolutely. No, I can't say that word. Yeah.
Actually, I'm happy to be called up finally. I think this is the earliest, one of the earliest you've called me in absence of Jack Giordamania.
Yeah. It's only the second time without Jack, so yeah.
I will say that first of all, I empathize with what Giordamania is going through because I've been in similar situations during my flights. Speaking of flights,
I think he's took it well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like losing a luggage in an airport is like a 33-second time penalty in your journey. It's like
I think it's worse.
I think he wouldn't have minded a 33-second time penalty instead of that. But yeah, there's been a lot of struggles this weekend, especially so for those who aren't in the Discord, there is now a chat for people who are at the races this weekend, and there was so much things going on this weekend, and hopefully we'll hear from some of you who were in Monaco tonight. But sorry, Monsieur, go ahead.
No. Yeah. Just to let the folks know, the members of the channel, that there's an FE-fans on tour, the new text channel you created on the Discord.
Yes.
And I was like, oh man, I'm stuck at home. I was actually like thinking of booking tickets for the Monaco E-Prix, but I think if you have went, one of our other channel members, Will, said that he had to cancel his Berlin tickets at the last moment because of a permit issue. And I also have like documents to work, paperwork to do, as I currently live in Italy. But I was watching the race, and there's just one word. What the heck was that?
Yeah.
Good choice.
Well, I will just sorry to interrupt. I've just made a mess again. I mean, do you know what, the one 2 weeks ago went so well, so I thought, do you know what, this will be absolutely fine tonight, and I've just gone off Kyle's screen again. So
I was going to say, it just came up on the screen for me. You replaced him with a chatbot.
Yeah, no, because I went into the FE fans on tour and I didn't think about it, and so yeah, I'd just like to apologise for that.
No,
I'm having an absolute mare tonight. Sorry, Monsieur, go ahead.
Is the whole thing frozen at the moment?
No, it's okay. I have that
issue. Should be all right.
OBS software. I have that issue with the OBS software as well. That's fine. We can chat. We don't need video feed.
Yeah.
It will prevent us from having laggy internet.
What do you want to talk about on the FE bar then? What spiked your interest this race weekend?
First of all, I hate to talk about. Don't want to be harsh, but I think Dan Ticktum's race. I was rooting for him. I'm not like the most diehard Dan Ticktum fan, but I was very happy for him when he got the 2 poles, and I feel that, genuinely speaking, for what I've seen in the first Monaco race, I was watching the team radio video that they posted, and at the final few laps from Da Costa's onboard, Dan was moving under braking like several times. I know that this was a reason because the team Kiro messed up the strategy from their side. They actually opted for a late pit boost, if you have noticed, and De Vries Evans overtook him, and he was trying to prevent Da Costa from passing him, but his tires were degrading very quickly. Then again, I will say that was a very I'm not being unbiased towards bashing Ticktum, but I will say from a genuinely critical perspective, he shouldn't have made that move on the left-hand side, because definitely that was pretty dangerous as a whole. And I wish him the best of luck in the next race as well. He was very upset and didn't want to talk to the media pen and everything. Then
Is this Dan?
Yeah, it's Ticktum.
Yeah.
It was literally, he didn't like after he finished the race, He got the
Yeah.
penalty, and then he didn't attend the media pen, which I think
Isn't that just very Monaco behaviour, though? We saw that in Formula One with Raikkonen going into his hot tub in the early years. So I think it's kind of just how people deal with it in Monaco, I think, to just sort of go, right,
Yeah,
fine, see you later.
yeah, but not everyone can afford to, and I don't think that's the other thing. And he needs to realize, like, I was a bit surprised to hear the thing that saddens me. And as much as I'm criticizing Tictum right now, I want to preface the fact that I was a bit surprised to hear that he doesn't have a seat confirmed for Gen 4. I always thought he was Hero's lead driver, but now Marty has got a podium with the same powertrain. Think that will make him bring a change of thought about his racecraft. Like,
I think with that, I think the thing is with Kiro at the moment, it is
yeah,
very much so. I'm not sure what the reported price was, but Marty basically paid for his seat this year because it was cheaper than doing another year in Formula 2. And he was far down the line in Red Bull's driver management. Yeah. So he was far down in Red Bull's pecking order to get into Formula 1. So he thought, right, I'll just do Formula E to show what I'm worth. And well,
Showed us
yes,
in race 1, didn't he?
yeah. Well, yeah. It's the price has probably gone up a bit now, but
Marty's stock
but
has
yeah,
definitely
he's
gone up after that unlucky podium.
Oh, definitely. But I'd say that Tictum's highs have been higher, and and the luck that Dan Tictum has had this season has been shocking. I mean, he was on the front row in Brazil and got taken out by Nick de Vries.
Nick
and then
I don't want to talk about it. I was so upset when I saw that. Like,
yeah. Then Mexico, he was in that accident with Cassidy and Da Costa and everything, and so Miami, they just went the wrong way on the setup. Jeddah, can't remember what happened in that first race, but the second race he got points.
No, Jeddah, I think he had an okay weekend, didn't he? Because he was fighting.
He got points on the second day, but I've forgotten what he did on the first day. So
I've got the points up now, so let's have a look.
Yeah,
and a reminder that if you want to put your points in, you can buy the book. There we go! Exclamation mark in chat. There we go. Look at that. All very filled in. Very filled in. That's
in the how the FE Barks work channel section, I have posted my latest bingo card update.
Yeah.
I actually got a few. I got a few crossed off this weekend because I had every team and every driver to score, and Degrassi. He did it!
Yes, yeah. I just have I actually done it? No. Sorry. But yeah, no. Yeah, Mazrua, you got Marty podium.
Yes. That's ticked off. That's my 4th bingo card ticked off.
Wow. 4. I've got a
4.
fair few crossed.
Lovely.
I predicted Zayn 3 points, Pepe Marti points and podium, so that's ticked off. Citroen Racing pole position, Muller wins a race. I have got 4 ticked off, 4 of them ticked off. I was close with Felipe Dragovic gets a pole in the Miami E-Prix. Mortara average qualifying better than De Vries. That's at the end of the season we will get to know. Pascal Wehrlein being consistent, I think that will mean that if he gets if he scores the most points finishes, even if he is not champion, if he gets the most points finishes out of all his other drive opponents.
Yeah. But like Nico Prost in season 1.
De Grassi gets a top 5 finish in a race. I was so close. I was praying, please keep the penalties.
More penalties, more penalties. So you must be the biggest.
Everyone's praying for that.
You must be the biggest fan of the stewards this weekend, Mazrua, then.
No, yeah, I was like, here's the thing, Barnard. I saw the FE Zone video interview when Barnard was telling Jordi Mania about the time penalties are harsh and everything. I think that time penalty of 5 seconds, 10 seconds, I completely agree with what Barnard said, that it's very harsh. I think a 5-second time penalty means your race has basically ended or you will barely finish the points. But even especially if you're leading, and the 10-second penalty means it's over. However, I will definitely say that time penalty should exist because definitely keeps the drivers on their toes, because
Yeah.
it puts a lot of stake. It puts a lot of high stakes event in an E-Prix. Whereas if you think of a two or three, Formula E, I think is very unique when it comes to the type of penalties that it gets imposed. I know it's very unique, and a lot of stewarding decisions has to be catered with respect to Formula E, which explains the driver's letter and complaint. But there are other things like the time penalty that Barnard was talking about. I agree with him, and I have to say it is harsh. But at the same time, I will say that those time penalties should exist, because it definitely like decides a championship, for championship like stakes flipping the point. It definitely calls for a huge reshuffle in the point standings. I remember 2024 Portland E-Prix. Like that was the first time in many years I was watching a Formula E race very religiously. I was a casual viewer for 10 years, for the better part of like 7 to 8 years. But I think 2023, 24, the season 9 and season 10 were the Gen 3 era I was mostly watching. And I remember Portland E-Prix. That was the day I encountered the biggest heartbreak of my life when race one. I'm reminding myself of a nightmare. Evans was behind Jake Hughes of the new McLaren, and Hughes, who was a rookie that year, no, he was in his second season, I think, clipped the front wing of Evans. It was Portland's race one. It was the penultimate race weekend, and the stewards gave Evans the penalty instead of Hughes.
Yes.
It was a 5-second penalty. Yeah,
And
I'm sure
he went on to.
Kyle is like thinking, wait, which race was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have watched it.
I can't. Yeah, it was the one that Cassidy was leading and then spun out late in the race. But Evans crossed the line first, but he had the 5-second penalty, and that dropped him to about 14th place or something like that. Like it's always been an issue, like in this pack racing era. So is it the other way around? Like, I know that we moan and whinge about pack racing every week, so I feel like we should change the record. But like,
I don't complain. Just say.
I do. I moan and whinge about it all the time.
No. Here's the thing that here's a computer programming analogy that I like to add to Formula E currently. Is that in programming, when we write a piece of code and we see it works, the motto is, if it works, don't fiddle with it. Okay? So I think the pack racing and the peloton racing is a programming code that works, that compiles with the championship. If you fiddle, if you add any add-on extension or any library file into this peloton race, then suddenly you will have a whole new thing to complain about. It can arise problems that did not exist before and what was enjoyable. So for now, I think they should stick with what works and just go with the flow, especially with Gen 4. I know Gen 4 is going to bring a whole new area of discussion and a lot of nuances that we're not currently observing in Gen 3. We don't have a proper view of what Gen 4 is going to have. But my word, I've really enjoyed this season. I have watched every race and ticking the bingo cards. And most importantly, I'm very satisfied with what I've seen in Monaco. And I wish I was there.
Oh, lovely.
There's always next year, isn't there?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that feels like a natural kind of like. Yeah, lovely. Mazrua,
yes.
thank you for coming on the FE bar.
Okay.
Right, and we'll hopefully see you very soon.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Hope to come to the next FE bar. But thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Mazrua. See you soon. Bye.
Peace.
Right.
I do think it's interesting that that he did mention that actually Marty on 40 points to Dan Tixham's 28. He's got to feel that, like, that is, good for Marty, but so annoying for Tixham.
Yeah, definitely. Right, we're gonna get Johnny in the bar now. Johnny, are you there? Can you hear us? Can we hear you? Are you there, Johnny? Hi, Johnny. Johnny, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. What would you like to talk about?
I'll just discuss my like a prediction which I had made last time, Jeddah, that Mahindra is going to be good in Monaco. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if you remember that, but I had said that Mahindra is going to be really good in Monaco because the way the car was turning in the tight Jeddah corners, I had predicted that it's going to do the same in Monaco as well, and we have seen the good performance of the car in Monaco.
That's a
Although
good
they didn't have the
spot.
best
Yeah.
of luck, you know.
Yeah. And
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And how was it to hear the Indian anthem back on the podium?
Sorry.
How was it to hear the Indian anthem back on the podium?
Yeah, man, that was really chilling, chilling experience. First time to hear the Indian anthem, like in Monaco. I think once it played for Kush Maini when he had won in Formula 2 in Monaco as well last
Yeah.
year. So yeah, that was a good moment to hear in the Indian anthem, especially for Nick DeFries of all the drivers to get the win for Mahindra in Monaco.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because
Nick had a good
Mortaro
day.
hasn't scored, has he? That's the thing. Mortaro hasn't
Yeah.
scored. He's
Yeah,
done well,
Mortaro's
but he
been
hasn't
very
had the anthem.
consistent, but
Yeah.
no, he hasn't had that
Mm.
elusive
Yeah.
win yet. So, yeah.
Magic word.
Yeah, but I think Nick did really well for the first race. He didn't have any incidents. They had a very good strategy for him, and they outclassed basically ticked him for the win. Yeah, that was a good day for Nick. Although the second day, I think so, he had a small incident. I don't remember with which driver, but he had a incident. And
Was it Da
but
Costa?
still,
Was it in the? Was it when he came into the last corner and he hit Da Costa into the wall? I think that was what was mentioned because we saw the incident with. Oh, who was it? Who else? Because there was two that crashed in that same section, and I think Nick hit Da Costa into the wall.
I think so as well. I think so. Da Costa mentioned it in the interview, in the driver's interview. I think so about this, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember properly, but yeah, I think, and he lost his front wing as well, right, Nick, in the second race. His front wing was missing for the rest of the race after that incident.
Yeah, this is something. Okay,
Yeah.
I'd like to bring this up now because Nico Muller went into the back of Pascal Wehrlein in the first race and lost his wing, and in the pit stop they elected not to repair the wing because, as we saw in the Berlin race, Pascal Wehrlein had a puncture and they had to replace that, and Wehrlein lost so much time and he didn't catch up to the field again because there wasn't a safety car. So, but Muller was able to continue without the wing. Is that something that the FIA should look into more? If you have sustained that amount of damage, should you be forced to change your wing?
I think next year, I think for the Gen 4, we have more aerodynamics for the cars. So I think so
Yes,
it'll be
yeah.
like more necessary next year for them to anyways change the wing, even if the FIA doesn't call them in. I think so they will have to, because they will have lesser downforce and the cars won't drive the similar way they will with the wings, with the proper wings. So like in Formula 1, I think so they will have to like come in the pits when they have any damaged wings on their own without the FIA telling them.
I also
Anyways.
think Monaco is not a track where that wing would really give much. I don't think it. I don't know. I'm not convinced that it probably actually do Pascal better because the car's lighter. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah, but I don't think so. The Gen 3 Evo car is that aerodynamically like necessary for them to have those aero parts to perform well. I think so. The Gen 4 will be the proper car to see for the aerodynamics to how they work.
Yeah, because I don't even think. I mean, the rear wing on the Gen 4 looks like it's going to push the car really down into the ground. But I'm not sure how much. Obviously, it will have an impact on the Gen 3, but I mean that's the rear wing. But I think aerodynamically, it's one of the most interesting cars I've seen. The Gen 3.
Yeah, but I think Gen 4 will have more this because they have more power as well. So when we have more power, we have more force of the air coming onto the car. So they will be requiring a better aerodynamic like setting for the car.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But it's interesting to see. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and just I watched SB10's video on this about the driver changes, and he was like hinting at Mortara leaving Mahindra and going for the second Porsche car seat. So I just wanted you guys opinion on that. Like, would that be a good disk for Mortara to move? And secondly, what would be the like a better like a ideal lineup for Mahindra next season if Mortara does move? Apart from Nick DePries.
I think it'd be interesting if he does leave. I was actually watching a video by the Hyphen Race, which is Sam Smith, who is the omniscient member of the Formula E paddock.
Yeah.
And he and in that video he said that the Mahindra lineup is locked, even though he published the article a few weeks ago saying that Mortara might be poached by Porsche. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think next season we do go up to 24 cars next season as well. So there's going to be more. There's going to be more drivers next year. We know. Well, we're fairly certain that Teo Porcher is going to be one of those drivers coming in at Opel. But
Yeah.
we know that Degrassi's leaving, so there's definitely another one coming in. And then you need to add like another 4 on top of that. So yeah, there'll definitely be a few
things
rookies
for us to learn.
Yeah, and SB10 actually did a video on who the expected people could be. So go check out SB10's video as well, because that might give you a little bit more insight. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if either of them leave.
My take
that's what
is.
I said. Sorry, that's what I said. I watched SB10's video. On that only I was talking about. He had predicted that Mortara might leave Mahindra and go to the second Porsche car, seat. So
Yeah,
that was my question. Yeah, Kyle. Go on, Kyle.
My take is, if he does go to that second Porsche seat, what's he going to gain from that? Because is it a B team or is it a completely different team? Because if it's anything like in F1 where you've got RB and Red Bull, that's how I'm envisioning it. Is going to be similar to that.
Yeah,
so
that's what I think.
Is he trying to get into that Porsche seat where Muller is? Because I don't think Pascal's going to move, and I don't think Porsche will get rid of him. So it's again feels very much like a Verstappen situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Pascal is Mr. Porsche, by the way. Pascal is Mr. Porsche.
That's a good name for him.
I don't think so he's gonna move. I don't think so the Porsche team will let him go anywhere else, because he's like match made in heaven, this, for a driver and a team. He's like that for Porsche. So I don't think so he's gonna move.
Yeah.
Anyways, and what would be like a candidate for the Mahindra seat if that does happen?
Ooh.
I think Nick will. Sorry, I think Nick will stay.
You checking the book, Kyle?
Yeah, I've got the silly season on the back there.
Buy the book, everyone! Exclamation mark book in chat. There we go.
Yeah, there's a silly season where you can put all your predictions.
Oh, is there? I haven't got that far into the book. I haven't got that far into the book. I'm a slow reader. I'm a slow reader.
No one's going to be able to read my handwriting, but I've got Jake Hughes to somehow come back for a second team.
I wouldn't put it against it. I wouldn't put it against it happening. I think it's definitely possible. But no, we will have to see. Right, Johnny, we'll leave it there for today. Thank you for coming back on the FE bar, and we hope to hear from you again soon.
Yeah, I think on Kyle's comment, I think so. Jake is the reserve driver for Mahindra. Maybe he comes in place of Mortara for the Mahindra seat.
Potentially.
We'll never know. Yeah.
Potentially. Good shout. Good shout.
Cheers, John.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. Cheers, Johnny.
Guys.
Right. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Right. Lovely. Right. We will take a very quick break, and we will be taking more of your calls when we return. Right, I'm hoping there we go. Oh, the music did just creep back in. I thought it would be like really nice if it ended when when the music ends, we come back, and it just a little bit late. So yeah, no, well. Welcome back, everyone. Just a quick reminder: it is Seg 2 now, which means you can have your beverage of choice. So cheers to everyone watching at home, and yeah, let's get straight back in with your calls. We will go to Will first. Let's drag him in, and Will, you are on the FE bar. Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Hi, mates. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we can hear you loud and
Great,
clear.
well.
What would you like to talk about?
All right. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you guys for putting this on, and I really hope that Jack gets his baggage to his house. Yeah, and I think
I have had
like many
I have
others-
had a little thing. You just see it ticking off the screen now that it says Jordan Maynard loses baggage baggage in flight with BA or something like that, just ticking along the bottom. I wasn't sure if anyone noticed that, but I thought I'll just
Yeah.
throw it in there. But yeah,
It's going to be the developing story while the season's on. Well, till we go back to Sanya, isn't it?
yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I hope he gets it before Sanya. That'd be quite a while, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Sanya's a very long way away. They've liked doing these gaps. I know that there was supposed to be one on the 30th of May, which is supposed to be the one in Jakarta, and they've opted against it that year. But when I was speaking with Jeff in Valencia last year about that, because like there are a lot of Indonesian fans that come out to Formula E, he said that is an option to come back to in Gen 4. So keep your eyes peeled. I think the next show after
It's
this
going to be dusty.
Yeah, I think the next show after this will be the Gen 4 calendar reveal, because that will be happening before, in the gap between this and Sanya. But yeah, sorry, Will, go on.
Yeah.
No, all good. So I think, like many others, I think the penalties caught my attention. I think it's really between, of course, the FIA and the drivers. If they're happy with it, then it is what it is. But I did a bit of brainstorming. I'd like to propose 4 alternatives to what normally
Just 4?
would be yeah, just 4, yeah. Well, hey,
Right, start taking notes, everyone.
It's Dragon's Den, isn't it?
There you go. Well, hopefully they don't do.
I
all
will
4
give
at
you
once,
10
but
quid
yeah,
for 4%.
okay. So the first one is, what if you have attack mode remaining, for every 5-second penalty you get 90 seconds or 120 seconds removed from your upcoming attack modes. So whatever your amount is let's say you have 8 minutes remaining, well, you got a 5-second penalty that could get converted into just 6 minutes remaining of attack mode. Yeah. So that's one idea. Another idea is instead of an actual seconds penalty, they could say, okay, so it's normally a 5-second penalty. So the equivalent would be you have to drive through the attack mode area 3 times, 3 consecutive laps, but you can't actually take attack mode during that time, right? So it's a very natural way you could just go offline in an improved way of the circuit, but you have to do it 3 consecutive laps, and then you will have served the penalty. Yeah. And clearly you would lose like quite some spots, right, for this. Another option is just basic grid drops on your final finishing position. So 5 seconds, maybe we say that's 3 positions lost, right? So if you finish 4th, regardless of how many seconds, they will just make it so that you finish 7th instead. Yeah. And the last idea is, what if instead of 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever, it's a certain percentage of power reduction for a certain number of laps. For example, 10% reduction in power for 2 laps. And again, that way you're at a disadvantage over those 2 laps. It should work out to losing a sufficient amount to serve the penalty.
Yeah. I think we were talking about this a little bit earlier on, and fleshing out what you've just said. I don't know what track it is. Pico, you're probably going to be able to pull this one out of your brain. But there was an attack mode that used to be on a straight. I think it came out of a hairpin, and it was on a straight. It was in I think the Gen 2 era. But it makes me think if there was a penalty zone, then the instead of having to like use an attack mode, but on the straight, even at Monaco, if one side was a penalty zone, that might be the most logical one. I can't remember which attack mode it is, but that one came to my head when you were talking
I think they
about
did
that.
do the very first attack mode ever in Diriyah, because they changed it the year after to being on the chicane, but they came out the corner and everyone swerved to the inside, then go over the attack. So
That's
it
the
might
one.
be that one.
It's
It
gotta
might
be
be
that.
that one there. It was back when it was a day race. Back in
Yes, it was a
season
day
5,
race when
but,
I watched it.
Yeah, but yeah, I
Google
think
it.
that might be what it is.
I like that
Jack
idea.
King has also said that sounds like Hong Kong. Could be Hong Kong. I've got no idea. But yeah, Hong Kong. They God, I'm having to remember all the details now. What was the one in Hong Kong? That was coming out of that the little hairpin where Bird got the lead the year before, and then it was just on the outside there, just before where Lotterer got the puncture in the 5 race. I think. I don't know. It's a very long time ago. Yeah, Monaco's attack mode was originally after the Nouvelle Chicane. Yeah, that was back when they had the god awful layout where they went down the hill at Sandevot and into that hairpin, which Bruno Senna had his big accident in season 1. But yeah.
Good memory. But
I'll be honest, I only know that because I did it in Pico's preview last week. So Monaco I'm kind of a little bit aware of because I've been editing. But yeah.
I like that idea of a penalty zone. I just think that if there's a way to synchronize the actual order on track with the final finishing order as best as you can do it, I think that would help fans and be more engaging. Just make it overall clearer, right? So that everybody knows the score. Pico, since you did some Monaco learning this week or refreshing,
Go on.
How many times has David Coulthard won at Monaco, and in what year or years?
Well, thankfully I did watch a video. He said that he'd won it twice. I don't know the years, but I can have a look.
It's interesting that I find that the Triple Crown can't be part of Formula E, with it being, a Formula sport. I know that's probably a bit of a sin to say, but it's one of those where I think, Oliver Rowland is the master of Monaco for us, isn't he? He's won it twice now, back-to-back years.
Yeah.
So, and it's an achievement, but I don't know. I just feel like, why can't it be? If you race on the track, I guess it's the event, but F1 is impossible to get into, so...
Yeah, it was 2000 and 2002. I've just looked that up. Thanks
was
to...
that Mercedes, that one?
No, that was the...
McLaren or whatever.
Sorry, no, I've scrolled down, and there is a video of the 2000 car, and it's uploaded by Silverstone Museum on the 17th of May 2026, and it's got one of my managers in. Lovely. Scroll back up again. I won't be clicking on that. Hey, Rob. No. But yeah, so fun. But yeah, I think Monaco Formula One Triple Crown. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But yeah.
Maybe in the future, right? But
yeah.
What do you guys make of the penalties? Do you think it should stick with a certain number of seconds, or try maybe a penalty zone?
I like this. I like some of the ideas that we've come up with. Like they have to go through the attack mode, but it's for a penalty, or even though what happened in Valencia in season 7. I'm losing my train of thought already. But yeah, I'd quite like the idea of deducting someone 1% of power, because that means that they have to energy save a lot more, which I think I think that makes it like even more exciting. But the thing is, they messed it up big time back then, so I think they'd be kind of reluctant to do it again.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yeah,
It depends on what stage of the race, right? But, I mean, reduction of power would, to me, it makes sense if you do it maybe in the first half. But I think once you get to the second half, you've kind of, a lot of the teams might have boxed themselves in. I don't really know. It just seems like, what if you levy a penalty with 3 laps to go, right? They might not be able to actually make it.
I think Formula E have got the base. They can try stuff. They've obviously attack mode in with I think trying something that's not traditional, like time penalties, and finding another way is definitely something I would accept as a fan. We'd moan about it, but it would probably work.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't like
definitely.
change, do we? Unless if it's a new generation of car.
Yeah. I can't wait for it. But yeah, no. Will, awesome to have you on. And yeah, hopefully yeah, come back on soon.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, guys.
All right. Cheers, Will. All right. Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.
Right. I'm going
Some
to
were saying that he was quiet in volume. I don't know if they were referring
Yeah,
to Will or I don't imagine
yeah,
it'll be
I
us. It's a
don't
bit
know.
late for us, isn't it?
That's the thing. I thought it was a bit quiet in my headset. So, but yeah, the thing is, I think if I turn it up, it's just gonna go off your face again, and then I can't face the embarrassment again. Right, let's get Chris in. And I'm not even gonna start talking to Chris about Monaco, because I want to talk to you, Chris, about Berlin, superstar. Like
Okay.
on the big world feed, and I've got your little lower third as well.
Oh, hello.
So that'll come up on your screen.
This, right?
So yeah, because you've been on the ITV coverage, so I thought, yeah, no, I'll give you a little lower third, and I've given you the little England rugby rose on as your graphic. So yeah.
Oh, appreciate that.
But yeah, no. So yeah, firstly, how did that happen? Just tell us about how that happened.
Oh, well, to be honest, I was just minding my own business. Obviously, a few drinks, as you say, get the flag out, like similar to what we did back in 2024.
It's not like you to have a few drinks. No, not at all.
Not in the slightest.
Whip the flag out.
A bit of context. Me and Chris got very drunk at Twickenham last year. So
Yes.
yes.
Yes, that did happen.
Right. Sorry. Proceed with your story.
Yeah. So basically, all behind me, so I was again with the Dennis family, because again, that's something that I do apparently now. And all
Got
I
them on
was like-
speed dial.
Yeah. All I around was great. I turned around. Yeah, Alexa was there with the camera, like beckoning me to come over.
Fair enough.
So yeah, literally, I was not actually sat where they interviewed me. I was literally the entire other side of the grandstand. So I literally had to get dragged all the way across, have that interview, sit on some poor bloke's seat. Literally had to stand there waiting for the interview to be over.
Oh, so that wasn't even your seat?
No.
Oh my god! They just chucked someone to the side, like, no, not you, no.
Yeah.
Come in. You sit here. You sit.
You can wait until this interview's over, and yeah.
I love that so much. That's incredible.
Yeah. Well, just normal Formula E weekend stuff for me, by the sounds of it these days.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you've seen my reaction on the watch-alongs, because I didn't realise that my microphone was on at the time, and you can hear me. If you go to the watch-alongs, you can hear me go, "It's Chris," and then just go mental, just gash that you're on the telly.
It's like, where's Wally?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that, Wally?
But yeah, were you in were you in Monaco as well then, or did you just do Berlin?
Unfortunately not. No, only Madrid and Berlin. internationally this year.
Yeah.
I was absolutely gutted to not be there. Obviously, Lou was out there because he was on the broadcast quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I-
three just didn't work,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I'm gonna put this to Luty in a bit because I reckon because there was the shot after Zan got the second pole that his mum was cheering out the window. Was his mum cheering at Luty and the Tictum fan? Because that was the right way out, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, no, Luty, prepare for that question later on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah.
Right, ask him about Idris Elba as well.
Okay. Good to know. I will. I'll make a note somewhere.
Yeah.
I just want to ask. Obviously, your photo on here says you got a flag with Jake Dennis. Do you have any comments on Jake Dennis's penalty? Do you know much about it? I've only read the FIA paperwork. How sad of me. But I just think it was kind of hidden in the broadcast.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't seen it. I've not seen it. I've read it. Apparently, he got a 5-second penalty. Look, he had a 5-second penalty in turn 6 for clipping Tictum, and then Tictum got a 5-second penalty in turn 12, same lap for clipping Jake.
Right.
Can't they just neutralise it at that point?
Yeah, at that point, just don't give either of them a penalty.
Tit for tat.
Rather than giving both of them a penalty because neither of them benefit.
Yeah, and especially like in this style of racing where a penalty will ruin your race.
Well, yeah, he dropped him out of the points. 5 seconds. It was P6, I think, because he was the cork in the bottle that guaranteed Mortara P5.
Yeah.
Because if you actually have a look at the timing, 5-second penalty versus 10-second penalty for Mortara would not have changed his final position.
Yeah, actually, I think it did because I think Evans beat him by like 0.6 in the end, so it would have meant that he would have got 2 extra points. But like, the thing is, traditionally in these pack races, a 5-second penalty. I mean, like we were speaking to Mazur about it earlier on. When Evans got that 5-second penalty in Portland, that dropped him from the win to 14th, 15th place. And it's just one of those things that, like, okay, something needs to be looked at if such a minute penalty is doing that amount of damage. And the thing is, I think the fact that the gaps were so big, I think helped justify the stewards' moves a bit more, I think.
Yeah, and I will admit, obviously, that Tictum incident, obviously on the Saturday, again, it's annoying that we're talking about penalties because I'm just like, the race should be decided on the track, not in the stewards' room.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's just my harsh opinion.
I think it's more the penalties don't work in Formula E is what we're talking about, because actually the racing was fine, and I think if they could just find a way of being like, okay, that's not acceptable, then... But this is what having the FE bar is really good for, is hearing what people think, because hopefully Formula E will be watching this and be like, they've got a point there. You know, Jeff could be sitting there with his beer in his hand, Pico, feet up. Yeah. Probably not, because I think he's on his flight, but, if he's on a posh plane, he might be feet up, first class.
Yeah. Private jet all the way back. Yeah. No, I just think the reason why they gave down 33 seconds was because of the final result.
Yeah, the thing is, if he dropped 10 seconds, it would put him 6th, I think. It would at the end of the race, which I think that is still a just penalty. I think, like, because 33 seconds, I can't remember the last time we got. Well, I remember Da Costa got one in London a few years ago, which is like a 3.5 minute penalty or something like that, and I can't remember what the reasoning was for, but it was it was 3.5 minute penalty or something, and you could have given him 30 and it would have been the same result, but for some reason they gave him like 3 minutes. It was absolutely crazy. But
getting so inconsistent at the moment, because I know, obviously, bring it back to Madrid, obviously the 1.9 second time penalty for Buemi, I know obviously that moved Jake up position, but there's no precedent for anything like that. I don't actually.
Maybe that is a good point though. Maybe 1.9 is a suitable time for Formula E penalties because 10 is just it doesn't work with pack racing. But I can imagine a second. It's like you're talking decimals. I'm arguing myself here, aren't I? But
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
This is why we drink. This is why it's called the bar. We get more unhinged as it goes. And as Chris well knows, I get so much more unhinged the more I drink.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
Oh, God.
But yeah, obviously, bluntly, it's a shame, but we've got to give Felipe his credit.
Yeah, Felipe, look, we've got to like 1.5 hours into the show. We haven't spoken about Felipe Drugovich. What a fantastic drive from
Which
him
is
to get
annoying, though,
P2.
isn't it, that we're talking about penalties because that's what's plagued the weekend. When actually, as I said at the very beginning, it was an absolute blockbuster. And I think, there's some positions we do need to talk about. So let's go with Drugovich.
Yeah, Drugovich and Marty both getting podiums is insane.
Yeah, so I was actually chatting to his race engineer the Friday before Berlin. So,
Yeah, you do, yeah.
Actually, yeah, normal stuff. And I say the team are obviously this was pre him getting any points, and they said they're still absolutely thrilled with his performances. Yes, okay, obviously no points. Obviously, he's got nothing on the board to show for it, but I think it'll be the first one of Jake's teammates that'll actually last second season. There's zero indication that they're going to there's not even a thought to remove him. Which, I mean, with performances like that, it's been a long time coming. He's deserved points for a while, and he's just a bit of bad luck. And obviously, Miami happened.
Yeah.
But
he's a rookie though, isn't he? And I think they're allowed to make the slip-ups. The same with Marty at the start. Like, this is their season to prove their worth, but you're allowed to be a rookie, I think.
Yeah.
And we've got a championship on for definitely the top 6, maybe more the top 4 going into the Asia region. But we also have a championship on the rookies because we've got Pepe Marti on 40 points, Joel Eriksson on 34, and Felipe Drugovich on 32. Like, that is close, and they're all together. It's amazing.
Oh yeah,
no, that's crazy.
Okay, who will be the best? But unfortunately, I do think you're right. Actually, I think we've had a bit of the Barnard curse because obviously Barnard came in, podium, and again it's a bit like the Verstappen curse in F1 where everybody's looking for the next Verstappen, everybody's looking for the next Barnard. Straight get podium.
But Barnard went from McLaren to DS, and I think DS aren't as switched on as what McLaren were.
Yeah.
So
also they're winding
Barnard's
down.
Talented.
Like he was with McLaren who were winding down. He's gone to DS who are winding down. Like is Taylor Barnard the kiss of death? Come and have your say on the Eprix bar.
I'm pretty sure we said that at the start of. the start of the season, it's like, Barnard is the team killer.
Yeah, is he
coming through again?
He goes around, kills the teams, and gets and that's how he keeps his youthful looks. Like that's why he still looks like a 12-year-old when he's I think he turns 21 in a couple weeks' time. But
yeah. Does he just stress them out, like stress the teams out?
Yeah. I was gonna hopefully Barnard gets some good results though for that team. He said in the broadcast, the quality results are there. It's just the race pace for that DS, and
I don't think DS Penske get their strategy right though. I think it's a team thing because both Gunther and Barnard have both had really good performances. Think back to Jeddah, and I think when they've been at the front of the field, they never finish at the front of the field.
No,
and it's one of those where I just think DS aren't pulling punches. I think Citroen had a very similar weekend. They just sunk down where some teams just stood up. Like I think Andretti won out of the overall points in race 2 if we don't take Dennis's 5-second penalty. So and that's pretty good, especially when Oliver Rowland was on a charge. So obviously that's now changed because obviously if you apply those points, I had a moment earlier. I was like, oh, I've got to let everyone know in the prediction show that I might have to amend some of the results, but I'm not going to because I think the racing was all fair, so they can contest that later. Not
Yeah,
this
I'm
show
with you.
anyway.
Yeah. Right,
But-
Chris, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I'd say I'm so glad, obviously, for the engineers. I know, obviously, they did say they're not as fussed about results as probably the drivers are, but obviously, so glad, obviously, they get a bit of a celebration because obviously they get bonuses as well. So,
I love it when the midfield tightens up. I think it's always good to get points on the board when it's not on the top half.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's why I'm
I like
a Dak fan through and through, but I love Lola. I just want Lola, man.
Yeah.
Get double figures, but that's why you know.
I really hope Sam takes that seat from Degrassi.
I like
next season.
Yeah, I like a really close, intense championship battle, but not season 7. And that's where I'll draw the line.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Chris, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Right.
Thanks for the
Good to speak to
on
you.
third.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. I remembered to turn it off like I forgot to do with Jack, but no. Right, cheers, Chris. We'll see you later.
Cheers, guys.
See you, Chris, our little local celeb of Formula E.
Yeah. Right, lower third off. There we go. Right, I'm going to get Looty in now because there are many questions that I'd like to ask Looty.
It
but
feels like he is the yin to the yang for Chris, so it definitely feels right to do so, doesn't it?
But the thing is, the place where I want to start, Looty, before we even get into anything about what happened with Tictum this weekend, is Thursday. How was Thursday for you, Looty?
Well, Thursday was interesting. I was traveling with Helen, and we both flew into Nice. And when we arrived at our apartment at about 1 o'clock ish, we had to wait a little bit. We didn't get a response from the host, and officially the real check-in was like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So at that point, we still haven't heard anything. We were trying to call them, no answers, nothing like that. And eventually we had somebody on the phone and they just went like in very bad English, no. That was basically all they said. And after that we recalled again and they said they sold the apartment. So there was no apartment in Nice. So that was step 1.
Yep.
Step 2 was that we had to call booking.com because we booked it through them. And that took 4 calls. I think we've been on the phone for 4 hours in total. We had to wait for 2 hours between all the calls. So we were basically stashed at the terrace outside of Otako's restaurant, surviving on chicken strips and cola light, trying to call booking.com all day. Then we had a second apartment, which we finally got. Then we went there and we were going to be there at 8 in the evening. And also nobody was there.
Right.
And we had no further instruction on how to get them into contact. We weren't picked up at the door, nothing like that. So we were like, okay, what the fuck is happening here? We tried to call them, telephone was off. Then we were a little bit like, okay, what are we going to do? Because the options are running out and we don't want to sleep under a bridge. So we found a sort of affordable hotel at the train station. So we went there, checked in. We're checked in. Then the second apartment called. And where are you? Yeah, we are already in another hotel. So chaos. And the next day we went to the second apartment and everything was clear and done. And we could stay there for the rest of the weekend. But yeah, it was a bit of a stressful day. First day.
Can you claim that hotel back though? I don't know whether that just sounds like hell.
Yeah, we should be able to. We are getting the money back from a booking for the first booking. And the second apartment is gonna give the money back for the first day. and then we
That's
paid the
good to
hotel
hear, 'cause-
ourselves. So should be
Because
okay. But-
I saw the story unfolding. I did offer a helping hand if you guys needed a guy in the chair, but seems like you guys had it sorted. Not that I would have been able to offer much, but at least you've got some friends somewhere helping. But I just thought, that is not what you want when it's such a tight weekend as well, and you want to maximise the fun you have. I think you guys have done really well actually in that. So well done for keeping you cool and just sorting it out.
Yeah, it was not the perfect way to spend the first day, but it is what it is. It happened. It's also like a first time experience happening this. So.
No.
Yeah, I think you've dealt with it very well. And obviously, how was the Monaco weekend then? Because you obviously were there, and tell us more about it.
Really, really, really fun weekend. It was, the weather was great. First off, unexpectedly good. The organization was also good of the weekend itself. Like with how everything at the track was organized compared to like in Madrid, for example. This was much better. So that was actually all pretty good. People were very friendly at the track, at least. Not per se all the other French people, but at the track they were nice. It was a good weekend from that point of view. And I think we saw a very entertaining qualifying both days, and also saw an entertaining race. Despite the result, the race was entertaining. So I think that was good. The only thing was that could have been better organization-wise was the television screens on the Saturday. Those were like very limited in the information they showed. So you had no idea when pit boost was happening, or how much energy people had, or when people could do the pit stop, or how big the gaps were. You had no information. But they fixed it for the second day. So they actually seem to have listened to feedback from people or heard the complaints. I don't know, but it was fixed for the next day. So they did good on that as well.
And you got to see the Gen 3 car at full pace, because someone in my comment section was telling me that because of last year's wet race, we never really saw it at its full pace. So it was nice to see the actual last bit of this car go around Monaco at full beans.
True. Yeah, it was really like in qualifying. It was really exciting to see like how because they're so on edge, and like everybody was touching the barriers and coming out of the corners, and you can hear that so well in these cars that like when there was
the crunch of carbon fiber.
Yeah, basically, because like,
there's no engine sound, so it's just that.
Yeah, it's like Ericsson in free practice put it into the wall a bit too hard and actually broke a piece of his car. But in qualifying, you had like the duel between Gunther and Dan happening.
Because they both hit the wall, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and not a little bit. It was so gigantically hard, both of them. It was really like, how are they still driving? But yeah, it was so good to see, and also just so nerve-wracking to see, because it was all so tight and so close together. And you have to be so on the limit, and such a rider circuit. It's just so good, Monaco. Monaco is literally the best track for FE, hands down, easily.
Yeah, and you must have been happy as well with Dan getting both pole positions. Less said about the race, but actually we will get on to the main accident on Saturday in a bit. But he was on fire this weekend.
Yeah, to be fair, for me the main thing was qualifying. I will keep it at that in a way, but the qualifying was just amazing. Like, first of all, to put it on pole on Monaco alone is in itself is an amazing achievement, but do it 2 times in a row in one weekend on a track like Monaco is like insane.
Well, it was one of the biggest deltas we've had in a duel, though, haven't we? It basically pushed Da Costa off the screen.
Yeah, it's the biggest gap of qualifying that we've had this season. I know that for sure. I think it does get to the point where it just stops, because I'm fairly certain I've seen it with like 3.5 seconds, and it's when someone's gone off.
Crashed.
Yeah, eventually it doesn't fit anymore.
It's almost like, give it a break, guys. Come on.
And also after what happened on Saturday, I think that duel in the Sunday. That was also a little bit of a thing, but yeah, it was really good and was really well executed. And the fun thing of qualifying in FE is just, first of all, on this track it does matter a little bit more than on other tracks. Therefore, that's a bit more work because people are actually trying to qualify. And also, it's just pure go as fast as you can, drive the wheels off the thing, go as fast as you can, nothing of the other things that play around. Just drive your car, set up, go. And that's actually so fun to watch.
Yeah. And with Dan getting his second pole on Sunday,
Yeah.
once he got the pole, we saw his mum cheering out the window.
Yeah, that was so good.
Was that at you? Because it was more or less where
yeah.
you were sat, like.
Yeah, to be fair, on the Saturday already, it was already like the whole family, all Dan's family was there. They were on the balcony and the pit lane, and we were on the other side on the grandstands. So there it was already like full party, and it was also so fun to see just the whole party and the team, and you can look into the pit garage and stuff. But yeah, on Sunday, they knew where we were sitting, and we were very happy. So we were waving, they were waving, and it was just it was really cool. And also on the Saturday after the qualifying, we went into the fan village. And his family was there, so they were already in party mode, and it was already cool to have a little talk. And after the race, also, that was not so much party mode, but that was more like a how do you say that in English? I don't know the exact word, but more like you give each other a hug out of frustration, or how do you say that? I don't know the right English word for it, but yeah.
And I've also got a question from Helen. Ask Luty about Idris waving at him. Go on.
Yeah, that was so weird. We were sitting there, and one of my friends is with me this weekend also, who is a little less into FE, but just to experience it. Idris was sort of looking towards where we were sitting, so my friend did a small wave, and then there came a big wave back. So then it was just like also waving at each other, and it was just fun. And after that, we were just talking to each other, and then we saw some phones being filming and stuff. So it was pretty fun, and
I think that's what's nice about having big celebs in there. I know he's obviously he's an owner of the team, but he's not arrogant in any way. And it's nice to hear you get those interactions, because it puts everyone on a really low level playing field, and that's what we want from the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very accessible, and it's people are just relaxed, people are friendly, and it's all fairly chill. So that's just really
it's one
nice.
thing I found with running my channel is I do have favorite drivers, but I can't. There's none I think I don't like. I just love all the drivers, and I feel like that is what the majority. There's obviously some hardcore fans, but like I think a lot of people just have respect for the whole grid.
Yeah, and also like you can not like other drivers, but just don't focus on the drivers and the teams you like, and just don't focus on the things you don't like in a way. And sometimes that's a bit difficult after a race directly, but like in general, just that I feel
the Dan Tictum, the Dan Tictum DAC. Obviously, I was heart in the mouth moment seeing a wheel come off, but at the end of the day, I see it as a race. It's a race, isn't it? And actually, this is what we get to talk about, is the exciting parts about that.
True, it's part of it.
Yeah. Right, Luty, thank you for coming back on the FE bar, and hopefully we'll hear from you again soon.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Cheers, Luty. Good night.
Bye.
See you soon.
Oh, right, hang on. I almost misclicked there. Let's bring Connor. Do you know what? Tonight's just been a comedy of errors, but don't worry.
That is
not
the
long
FE
to
bar,
go
though. It's
now.
a comedy show.
Yeah. Good evening, Connor. How are you?
Hello. I'm good, thanks.
What do you want to talk about?
Penalties?
Oh, really? Really? Wow. Do you know what? I don't.
We haven't had that tonight.
No, not at all. I mean, such a fresh perspective.
Anyone on any penalty specifically, or more the inconsistencies?
I kind of want to talk really about Dan Ticktum in general. I think the penalty kind of brings it as kind of part of it. But I was having a look at his results for this season, and whether it's, maybe partly down to him and his driving, partly down to strategy, because I feel like the Kiro strategy maybe hasn't been the best this season, or whether it is just a bit of bad luck. He's only actually finished in the points twice this year, in Jeddah and in Madrid. And I know he got the points for pole position both races, but
so he's had a DNF, P12, then P5, which is 10 points, P4, which is 12 points, DNF 14th, and then he's got P12 and P14, but 3 points for those.
Both races he had penalties though.
Yeah,
he was in the top 10 for both.
But I think the one on Saturday was, I'd say, harsh. I think a 10 would have been more. Yeah, I understand why they might have given a drive-through, but I think a 10-second would have been better. And then,
do you think he apologised to Da Costa? I don't know if that's been mentioned, but
I didn't see if he might have done. I don't know.
I saw his face of thunder. I think Karoon on commentary was like, "Oh, there's the face of thunder," and you could tell Dan did not want to go anywhere apart from probably his own bed after that penalty. Because again,
I think he also got a penalty on Sunday for overspeeding under virtual safety.
Because they also said, "Oh, that's a slam dunk." When commentary say that, you know that's a 5-second coming your way. Yeah. Well, they know the regulations. They would read the FIA Sporting Code for Formula E, so they would know when that comes up that's not. I mean, we saw it in season 11 with Oliver Rowland, first race. They knew straight away, didn't they? Overpower. Can't get out of that.
But it's just kind of, I think, and it kind of goes into sort of, I think Dan is kind of getting to the point now, personally, where, because I know after his penalty on Sunday, he got very angry about it, and it was like, it's kind of getting a bit, for me, like I said, personally, a bit old and a bit tired of this kind of whole
hothead.
Yeah, I'm Dan Ticktum, I'm the best. I kind of want.
My little brother loves it because it adds spice. It's character. Yeah, and I do understand it, but also it's not winning him any races.
No,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's been in a lot of, maybe not winning positions, but points-paying positions. I think this season that he's thrown away. And I think Kiro as well. I think because I think for all of the pit boost races, I feel like I've always seen Dan Ticktum stay out long. And it's always hindered him, because I think if he'd come in early with everyone else, I think he would have probably won the race. And I think it was also in Madrid he came in later, and he dropped back and had to make his way through. And I just think, yeah.
I think as well it was interesting that I think Albie, who's the strategist for Formula E commentary, said if I was Dan now, take a 2-minute attack or a 4-minute attack, and in the end I think he took the longer option out of those two.
Yeah, I think it was like take 2 minutes and kind of, because he kind of got cycled back because other people had taken it, and it was like take a 2-minute now and then cycle and actually and got 6.
I'm a sucker when it's things like that, because I was sold. I was like, yes, I agree. That's right. Let's do that. And I think, and I just think, I know it's different and we don't know how those cars work, but there is an element that I thought, if I was on the PlayStation right now and I was playing this, that's what I would try. Like, I think you got to be ballsy, but then sometimes it can land back in your lap in not the way you wanted it to. So. Pico.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Yes.
I was wondering where your comment was.
No. Yeah, no.
I'll have a sip of beer. And I thought, leaving us.
No. I thought, no. You guys were in the group. I was like, no. I'm just gonna let these guys. Go. But yeah, no. I kind of, I kind of agree, because Dan, don't get me wrong. Dan is a damn good driver, and it's shown that this weekend. Monaco is a complete driver circuit, and he's banged it on pole both days. And that duel with Edo Mortara on the Sunday. Edo set the lap record on in that duel, and then Tictum still went 2/10 quicker, which is insane. Which is insanely quick.
Not the fastest car on the grid as well.
No,
like I said earlier.
Yeah, 2-year-old powertrain.
Porsche and Jag. If they did that, that's understandable. But Dan to do it in the machinery he's got, and I don't think it's very much of an aerodynamic track, so I don't think too much comes into the car as such, or the regen stuff. It really comes down to the driver, and I think. To do what he did was incredible. And to get 2 poles. But is there now a curse? Because Mortara's got 2 poles in Jeddah, didn't win a single race. Dan's gone and proved that again.
Yeah, Verline didn't win in on the Sunday race. I can't remember who had pole in...
I'm just talking about double poles, though.
Oh, double poles. Okay, no, I can't.
Surely it must have happened where someone got pole in both races, and I mean, it doesn't happen often, does it?
I think this is going back a while ago, but Simsy I think got both poles in Diriyah and didn't win the first race, but won the second race, and it was when he was at the BMW Andretti team. So it was Gen 2, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I think he left at the end of Gen 2, but I think it was 6. I think it was 6 that he got both poles, and then Bird won the first race, and then Sims won the second race. But going back to Tictum, like that is correct. He is a damn good driver, but
but I think he needs to. It's kind of like
he is
in Formula 1.
Yeah,
where
he is
fast,
unapologetically him.
He needs to. Yeah, at least with the speed, or not with the speed, but with
he's got the speed.
He's chill slightly off the track,
and that's not like me saying like does he need to change? Like I don't think he realistically does. I mean, like look at where he is now compared to where he was 10 years ago, and like when that incident happened with Ricky Collard. When he was fighting Schumacher for the I know,
like it when you
I know, and that's why I've only
got a
mentioned
plaque at work on it, but
no, we don't. And Dan, if you do want to come into the museum next time that you're at the factory, please do come along. But no, and like when he fought Schumacher for the title in Euro F3, like he has grown so much since then, and I think like since he's been in Formula E, and the thing is, I think it was when he won that race in Jakarta last year, and it was the same weekend. Santino Ferrucci got a podium in IndyCar, and there were lots of people going like, "This is the worst weekend, cancel all motorsport and everything." And there is a significant difference between Ferrucci and Tictum, and that is Tictum has owned up for his mistakes, and someone like Ferrucci hasn't, and so that's why I mean, like, isn't
he like driving with his phone?
Driving with his phone, paid his team to sabotage his teammate to make him look better, racially abused his teammate. There's just a long list of Ferrucci being a bellend, but yeah. Whereas Tictum, like he's unapologetically himself, but when he's in the wrong, he does kind of go like, kind of my fault. He won't say it immediately, but he will say it after a period of time, and that's something that I do kind of respect. I do respect that about Dan. But the thing is that we see it all the time in Formula 1, like, oh, we want more characters. We don't want this PR, like, we don't want to see people like PR trained to hell.
Yeah.
And then you give them Dan Tictum, and then they go, nah, I don't want that, actually. It's literally what you're asking for, and so I mean, I love the fact that Dan's unapologetically himself.
Like Raikkonen, though, isn't he? Very similar to Raikkonen.
He talks a lot more than Raikkonen. Genuinely, I've been in a few driver pens with him. I would ask him one question; he'll speak for 4 minutes.
I think Dan is a driver that is quite. I enjoy him on the grid. I think he's one of the main characters, I would say, from a social side. I'm going to look at the list, see what else I can think of, but he definitely is He's the poster boy, really, and this is where I wanted to take my point. Was actually there's quite a loyal fan base for Dan because he's won for the fans.
Yeah,
I remember when he won that
it's
Jakarta
just Helen
win,
and Lucy.
and he basically
I'm joking.
Yeah, and he when he did his Jakarta win, he basically took us to the pub and just sat there with the pints talking about his win, and that's he wants to be relatable. He doesn't want to be showy, and this is a glamour because that's what motorsport is. He's like, I'm Dan Ticktum, and I won. And you guys can win with me.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say before. I don't know if you're going to kick me off, but
no,
I
go on.
do like the idea of the using attack mode as a long lap penalty.
Yeah.
I think maybe giving it as like 2 or 3. I mean, maybe depending on the track, because I know each attack mode is different, and you lose a different amount.
They
of
would
time.
have to just. I think they'd have to adapt it somehow. One, to make it safe, because there's certain places where I think if it's slowing down and someone wants to take attack mode while they're behind them, isn't going to work, is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's maybe if you're at a track where it's maybe the time loss is low, maybe doing it saying for a similar penalty at one track it's 2 as opposed to 1, or But I think using it as a penalty system as well as a
It would work, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking back to, was it Rome that had the really long, like they went round the big roundabout?
Yes,
thing,
yeah, they did.
I could imagine it.
The other one that I was thinking of, was Puebla. When we went there, when it replaced Mexico City in season 7, because Mexico City was being used to help out in the COVID pandemic, and it was literally a Joker lap, but they put the attack mode right on the exit of the thing, which was bizarre.
It was the same like system. It was the same width and everything. I don't know why they didn't just. Maybe they just have one they bring everywhere. But I don't know why they.
It's going to be lane 1 for normal driving, lane 2 for attack mode, lane 3 for penalty.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to when they replace the London the London E-Prix with just a lap of the M25.
There's enough superchargers on there, though, isn't there?
Yeah. And also, where are you going to pull in for your stop? Are you going to pull in at Beaconsfield? Or are you going to pull in at Cobham? Where are you going to go? I know Beaconsfield is on the M40. Don't come at me. I couldn't think of another. One on the M25. I only usually go one way round.
The M25 much better.
I'm gonna have to think that Cobham's obviously on there. If someone can whack in chat another M25 on, Connor, have you got an idea of another one on the M25?
No,
there's one. There's one at the near the M1, and I've forgotten what it's called. In Hertfordshire, and I forgot. Near St Albans, and I've forgotten what it's called. But yeah, no, we'll think about that. Anyways, Connor, thank you so much for coming on the bar.
Before I go, I think one final thing is, I think at the beginning of the season, I made a prediction that every single driver will score points twice.
I remember you saying it because it inspired me for me to do it.
Yeah, I've checked. I think some of the ones you'd expect to maybe not score twice.
I think it's only Zane at the moment.
No, Zane's done it twice.
I think everyone's done it twice.
When does Zane get a second point?
In Monaco, he got one in the first race because of Drogovic penalty, and then because of Dennis dropping out of the points, it put him up. So.
Okay.
I think that's hit. So go me.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say, I got the journalists that were in Valencia, we, similar to last year, we wrote 4 bold predictions on a scrap of paper. They're in an envelope. It's downstairs in my suitcase. We all open it in London. If you haven't seen the video on the Formula E YouTube channel, head back to July, I think, when we put up that video. It's and it was me, Nick Golding, Toby Verts, Jack Smith, and Don Wild. We all wrote little predictions, whacked it in an envelope.
I want to buy in for next season.
Yeah, no. If you're in Valencia, we'll get you in. But
there has been some motorway stops in the chat. I think I don't know. If
has there?
Bring that in. I think so. There was
South
to me,
Mims.
but I imagine
South Mims. Thank you. That's definitely one. Yeah. We always stop
I
at
love
the
being
on
the
the way back from
co-host.
Gatwick.
I get the stats, I get the chat.
Yeah, no. I have got a third screen on my laptop, so I have the chat, but I was scrolled too far. It didn't
You're
scroll down.
hosting today. That's not your job, you know.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't feel like I've been hosting. I've been making so many mistakes. But yes, Connor, thank you so much for coming on the FE bar. We'll hopefully hear from you again soon.
Thank you. Yes, I'll see you in a month.
Connor.
Right. So
yeah, see you in a month, crikey.
Right. Finally, let's get Chloe in. Chloe, thank you so much for waiting. You're on the FE bar. How are you?
It's all right.
Is that Mahindra?
I am mixed feelings after this weekend.
It's Edo.
You know?
It's yeah.
It's
Edo in Chloe's picture. What a surprise!
It's taken in third person though.
I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them like that from when from MotoGP a few years ago because
yeah.
There are so when MotoGP was at Silverstone, we got to go in groups to the paddock and went round and just I took photos with everyone. But one of my colleagues who's a professional photographer took photos of me taking photos with the drivers. So I've got quite a few of them. I've got one with Sam Lowe's, Max Biaggi, yeah. So quite
that's
quite a few
called a candid photo. That
yeah.
I get that.
I didn't even
yeah.
I didn't even know that it was happening. But yes, sorry, Chloe. Went a little bit off topic. How are you? What would you like to talk about?
Just Edo's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad weekend, really.
Yeah,
I know. I don't think it was that bad. But go on, what's your take of it then? You're a Mahindra fan, so
Saturday was bad, and then Sunday the penalty. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's actually the 5th place is. I was doing a bit of research earlier. It was his 2nd best finish in Monaco.
Oh, fair enough.
He just has a history of having stinkers in Monaco, so I will take a 5th place.
Okay.
But it's just that the Saturday was a very, what would have happened if his car hadn't died. Because with Nick, obviously, started on the front row, went and won it. So, in my head, it was a double Mahindra podium, possibly. But
I'd agree with you on that because I think that package is just reliable. I think is the best word. But the reason why I think he had it's not now looking at the results. Yeah, it's not the fantastic one, but he has kept himself in the fight. So I'm glad to see that he loves 3rd position. Apparently,
he does. He does. Yeah, he loves that 3rd. He stuck his claim on it after Berlin and has stayed there, which I'm happy about. I've been a fan of him for 3 years, and I've never seen him even close to a championship fight. So
you missed 7 and 8 then.
Yes,
8.
I did.
7 and 8, he was fighting.
I came in at the
sounds a bit like a glory hunter here.
Yeah.
No, the opposite. I came in.
Saw the previous results.
But yeah, I think. Obviously, last year we had our first podium in Monaco in a while, and then that kind of inspired Edo to go on and get a couple. So hopefully this is a bit of a kick up the ass to be like, right, we can do it, we can win, let's go and do it. And we are going into Mr. Macau territory, as I call it. So.
One thing I've realised is double headers do so much damage to the championship, and that's why it's annoying that Sanya is a single header. It's not going to do too much. I mean, I know we've got Shanghai in I think it's 2 weeks after because we don't do a proper double header as racing terms. But I just wish that they'd just gone. Let's do a double header for even like Madrid. I just think it's something that works for Formula E. Yeah. Let's just make more double headers. I think.
Hear me out, right? You have a feature race, and then you have a sprint race. That's my idea. I think what it should be, right? And I know that for regulars of the FE bar, you've heard me say this hundreds of times. But what you do is you take the normal double header weekend layout, and then what you do is you replace the Sunday qualifying with a sprint. and then what you do is the qualifying sets the grid for race 1 in the sprint, and then the sprint sets the grid for race 2, and then you've got basically 3 weekends, 3 races in a weekend. And I know that that's just the World Superbike format, but let me have this. Is my response.
But with your sprint, then there's because obviously the cars they start with about 70%, don't they? That's the regen so much.
Yeah.
Or they start with 90, is it? But with the sprint, would they just have all the power to go to the end?
Right. This is.
I'd be
believe it or not, I was spitballing with Jeff Dodds in Paul Ricard, and he was saying, do the sprint, but make them 600 kilowatts throughout. So no attack mode. It is just a literal sprint, and then in the the races you have pit boost. You've got the attack mode, and yeah, that's
the
how
only
I do
thing that
it.
I would say against that, knowing how our weekends feel, is wake up on Saturday, qualify and race, and then you go, oh, that was amazing. Then you wake up the next day and you go, it's happened again. I think you would find it feels different with having a different style of race, though. I don't know. That's the only thing I would take away. Thinking about F1 and how that's done it.
I want to have a different style of race. I want to see them race at full pelt, and then because I think it would just be interesting to have different formats. So
could it damage the normal race? And hopefully we don't get as much peloton in Gen 4. But if the sprint race is more entertaining than the normal race, is that where sometimes you got to think, this is why we can't have nice things?
Yeah, but
could be a recipe for chaos.
Yeah, but it also means
Jeff Dodds listens, though. I think he does listen, and I think he tries. So, and that's why I think our sport has grown and is.
Yeah, I mean, he spent an hour and a half with us a couple of years ago, and we've been nagging him to come back on again. But we'll see. We'll see.
Get me in on that.
Yeah. No, because it'd be lovely to hear how he's, because when he came on, he was only kind of half a year into the job or something. Whereas now he's probably got his feet underneath the table. He's been at every Gen 4 test and everything. So yeah.
I think he is just. I don't know if it's because we work in more the media side of it, but to me, he is the face of the travelling circus. You see him everywhere. We saw him with Horner on the TV broadcast. I see him on the podium. I'm like, oh, there he is. So, but I don't know whether it's. Yeah. I just don't know whether because I preach to him a lot.
Yeah. And also, he is a lovely man. To get a flavour of the man, he is the guy who would organise to go to the pub and then get a round in for when you arrive. You get there and there's a round on the table ready to go. It
does seem like
that. That is what Jeff Dodds is like, and he is a brilliant guy. But yeah.
I hope he does that at London
But
and just gives us a call up and just come on, boys.
Oh,
you worked really hard this year.
I'd love that.
You solved a lot of our problems.
Yeah. A bevy with the boss, man. Love it. Chloe,
even at testing.
I wanted to ask about the penalty on Sunday.
Oh boy.
The Edo penalty.
Deep breath.
Yeah. What do you feel? Just to bring the mood down a bit.
Go on.
How do you feel about the pen?
I don't know, man. I haven't really had the chance to watch it back, and also I'm not well versed in stewards and all that stuff. In my eyes, Edo can do no wrong, but that's just me. But I mean, I was convinced it was going to be a racing incident, but the stewards have been particularly harsh. So I wasn't surprised when he got slapped with a 10-second. The fact that he managed it and the team managed it to only drop down to P5 at the end of the race, fantastic. Shout out to them. But yeah, I think it was a bit harsh, but all of the penalties were harsh. And I think I heard on the broadcast though that they didn't tell Edo about it until
it was
the race.
2/3 of the way through, wasn't it? That was crazy.
Because
But also mentally, that's smart. I think. Carry on with the plan.
I think that's why he pulled away afterwards, kind of like running away from the scene of the crime, because I think he thought, "Man, I'm going to get hit with a penalty."
Didn't they give? Was it Muller or was it Muller that they gave the "you're over-consuming" message to? Or was it Mortara? Because one of them decided to just. Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say one of them was like. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, rogue.
Yeah, and I made a joke of it. He was just acting out because I wasn't there because I was in Berlin, and he's always happy to see me. But yeah, he got a message that was like basically, "What are you doing? Calm down." But yeah, I just it's a coulda, woulda, shoulda. Like that could have been his race to win had he not gotten the penalty. And ultimately, Antonio was fine, but I don't know.
You saying that reminds me of that meme where it's like, you'll be fine. I can't remember how it goes, but it just came to my head when you said that. You say that you're fine or whatever it is, in my head just started playing.
And his legs hanging off.
Yeah.
No, I think he handled that penalty, or Mahindra handled that penalty really well. How are you feeling for like the rest of the season? Because he's third. He's obviously only 6 points off Oliver Rowland. Mitch is in a bit of a different space, but I can tell you this now: Jag might come back down into a bit of a, horrible and lucky stint.
Jag might do Jag things.
Yeah, that is a good way of putting it. But yeah, how are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm just living, laughing, loving because we've never been in this position. Well, I've never been in this position. I would like him to get a race win before the end of the season. Like, genuinely, it's been 2.5 years, and I'm waiting.
And this is something that we haven't really talked about tonight because obviously Nick de Vries did win and take Mahindra's first win in almost 5 years. But Mahindra have always been that fun back mark, not back marker, but like the underdog team. You always do kind of root for them. So for them to finally get that elusive win, it's Fred Bertrand's first win with the team. It was Nick's first win with the team as well. So for them to come back from the doldrums of when Ollie Rowland left them halfway through season 9, I think they've done absolutely magnificently to be back to where they are and fine at the front.
Yeah, and I've been following them since Edo moved to the team, and immediately, like from a fan perspective, they welcome me with open arms. Like they are such an incredible team, and they all
the team.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Oh, the team are lovely.
I'm known by like 90% of that team.
Yeah, and, it's much better now they've got rid of a Swindon Town fan as the
not Damien.
Yeah. Oh love you, Damien. Hope you're doing well in touring cars. He's not watching.
The way you talk about Edo Mortara waiting for his first rings win sounds like you're waiting for a ring off him. Like, please marry me.
No, that's my father. No, genuinely, like it was just such a relief because it feels like it's been coming for a while, and it's just been like that one little thing that we haven't been able to like get. So for it to all come together, it's kind of an exhale, and it's like, okay, we can do it. Let's try and do it again.
Okay, hopefully you want the win, but where do you want it? Where would you want it? Would you want it in London?
Yes, because I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he's holding it out. He's holding it out. Don't worry.
I mean, he saved a podium in Berlin for me last year, so yeah, he was very happy about that. About the fact that I had to change my jacket because I had his amount of podiums on my jacket, and then I had to change it.
Get the Tipex out.
In the middle of the temple half, I got my Tipex out.
Yeah.
And he was very happy about that. But yeah, just anywhere really.
Yeah.
But
there are multiple. Okay, we are only just. I know that we've only got 4 weekends left of the season.
Yeah.
But there are still 9 races. No, 9. 7 races to go.
7, yeah.
There was 9 before this weekend.
Fingers, isn't it? Yeah.
Count them on your fingers.
The same thing.
Yeah. But yeah,
so I'm like London. I do it in 2 times. Like London, Japan, Shanghai, and I'm like Sanya.
Yeah. I mean, Tokyo. He's been close a couple of times. So maybe Tokyo.
I just don't understand because I from the very beginning, and I've said this numerous times in this last year, Mahindra's car, it just looks brilliant this year. So how has he not converted it? Like, I know I might be, and Jack will pick on this from obviously being at the testing race, and I think that's where I kind of got my gut feeling from, was because what they looked like in testing. And I know you can't take testing data, but like, I mean, Nick's done it. I'm on the. There's loads of drivers I want to win. I think everyone should just like be able to have a pop at that first position.
Yeah, definitely.
And also with drivers like Nico winning his first in Berlin as well, like it feels like it's coming.
Yeah. Definitely.
I just don't know when.
Well, hopefully,
not to, wouldn't it?
It would be really. He should get a win before the season's out. But yeah, Chloe, thank you so much for coming on. We'll keep your fingers crossed for Edo getting that win, and hopefully it will be in London as well. But
oh my god, I will not leave the XL. I will play on the track.
We'll hear you because the cars aren't that loud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you will hear me.
And you say that London, they reverberate off the building, so like it'll be. Yeah,
I was going to say, you're going to give her a run for a money pick, aren't you?
Yeah. Right. Cheers, Chloe. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Right, we'll see you soon. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Right. Ed has said that he's happy not to come on, so we will call it there then. Right. Mega show. Thank you to everyone who's come on tonight. It is always you who make the show. So yeah, brilliant. Kyle, thank you so much for being my co-host for the last 2 weekends.
I'm going to miss this.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a privileged position to be in, and to get to talk to everyone is why this show is so good for what it is. And I remember I was going to say this, and I'm glad I've got the spot to do it now. I was so nervous when I first came on, and obviously some of you know I've got a bit of a broadcasting background, doing my own stuff. But if you are nervous, just come on the show, because actually once you get talking about something you love, it's one of those that you just think, you know, you don't have to know everything, and it's a great show to have.
Yeah.
So
and it works better when
we cover.
Yeah, and it's better when you've got someone who knows what they're doing in terms of actually broadcasting.
No,
this,
you are doing fab, honestly. The shows run smoothly.
Do not worry though, because Jack will be back for the next one. So I think you are going to be back on for Sanya, because I fly out to Greece the day of Sanya. So
this is news to me.
I've only just thought. To be fair, I've only just thought about this now. I'm flying on the day of Sanya, so it's probably in for Sanya as well. So. Yeah.
The Monday. I should be. I'll put it in my calendar. Wow, how exciting! I feel like. Do you know what? I might have almost as many on my record as Jack now. Thinking about how many. I'm going to catch him up, aren't I? Really?
I mean, I've caught him up tonight. So these last 2 shows.
Didn't I do Brazil?
You did Brazil because I was getting drunk at the Christmas party.
So I've done. That'll be my 4th. So, and there's only 11 rounds. Like, I've done nearly half the season.
You have. Yeah. Welcome to the team.
Well, it's been a pleasure. And obviously, you guys have taken me under your wing, as I'm fairly new to this scene, and it's been a fantastic ride so far.
But it is a 5-week gap to Sanya, but do not worry, we will be back on in the break, mainly because we're going to have, by the time we reach Sanya, we will have the Gen 4 calendar. So there will be a show when we do the Gen 4 calendar, somewhere in the start of June. I don't know the official date, but it's whenever the World Motorsport Council meeting is. But I think it's maybe like a week and a half before.
Have you got a prediction on how many rounds do you think?
Any
more than what we've got?
No, I have no idea in terms of what we're doing. I'd like to see more weekends. I'd like to see at least 12 venues, but
my only personal preference is don't do a proper double header like another motorsports, because to turn our content around, it would just we'd be knackered.
burnt out. But
I don't know if you feel the same, but
I only got the story in 60 out for yesterday today, so I think I got it about 4 p.m.
pre-show, because I learn a lot from your little TikTok.
I do it in front of that. I don't think it's in the camera shot. Well, it is. Yeah, there we go. Just at the end. There's the camera. There's the green screen. Thankfully that's been able to stay up over the weekend whilst my brother's been here. But But yeah,
Someone's,
no.
I think 20 rounds. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Would be nice. But yeah, it's been a really good show. Obviously,
yeah.
Well, thank you all in the chat as well. You've kept us entertained, especially on Knowledge on the M25.
Yeah, thank you. I will visit South Mims more often. But yeah, no, brilliant. So yeah, thank you to all of you for coming on. Carl, thank you so much for being my co-host whilst I've been in the hot seat. Thankfully, I get to go back into my cozier passenger seat for the Gen 4 calendar show in a few weeks' time. Just very quickly before we end, it's been a kind of very difficult week for me. Unfortunately, I lost my nan back end of last week, so I'd just like to dedicate this show to her. So thank you for watching the FE Bar. We will see you in a couple of weeks' time for the Gen 4 calendar. Good night.
Good night, all.